Okay, I hope we're on. We're having some technical difficulties earlier on, so I don't know if this is actually going or what. We're going to find out in just a second. I was going to start something, and then I had a problem with the phone not wanting to get into the landscape position, so I had to restart, reboot. So hopefully everything is showing. It looks like it is now. Sorry about that for the folks that were in there earlier trying to figure stuff out. We do now have it in place. I do have Tabby up here on the perch, so I'm going to have to move my computer over here a little bit. Different than what I would prefer, but hey, what are you going to do? Tabby does what Tabby wants, so. Hello, Mr. RJL. How are you? I'm glad somebody found this because, like I said, I was, hello, Tim. I had a snafu when I was trying to start it originally. So we are back in business. Tabby is right here on the perch next to me. Hopefully she will stay that way. We have the Tigers and the A's from the Coliseum. It is a pitching matchup of Jim Perry for the Tigers. And Jim Perry 14-13 with a 4.03 ERA. And lefty Ken Holtzman for the A's 21-13 with a 2.97 ERA. So those are your pitching matchups. We're getting close to the point now that we're into the beginning part of June, where I will start next week bringing the standings out. So you can see how the standings are going in the... Hello, Mr. Kenyon. How are you doing? Jeffrey Gudeman, thank you very much, sir, for being here. I feel bad. I don't like interrupting your games, but it sounds like you might need to break anyway. So the rain delay worked out perfectly for you on that. Hey, Doug. Hello, Brian B. How are you doing? Okay, like I said, we got the A's and the Tigers. And, of course, first step is the weather for today's game. We are in June. It's a day game in June, so we're in this far left-hand column all the way down here to Oakland. 1 to 10 is good. 11 to 19 is average. 20 is bad. But even so, even in good weather, the singles are only, the home runs are, I'm sorry, the singles are 3 and the home runs are 10. Yeah, that's in good weather. So we don't know what is going to happen, but let's roll the D20 and see. It says a 3, so it's good weather, which means singles are a 3 for both lefties and righties, and home runs are a 10. So how about that? So the power hitters at least get a break. Got a 50-50 chance of hitting a home run on the ballpark effects. Got our Oakland colored dice. Let me double check the focus here. Might need to, I think I do need to do something with that. Hold on. Let me fix it for you best I can. I think that's better now. So hopefully now that will work. I'm trying to get everything in place. Like I said, I was ready to go, and then Tabby decided to jump on the table, and that kind of threw my whole thing off. So that's why the 12:15 start versus the 12 o'clock start was because of that. All right. So we are ready to go. Pitching, catching, arm, hold, and all that good stuff. Jim Perry is a -5 hold rating. Very good. However, Bill Freehand is a +2. So let's see here. Can I get this thing to show up right or not? Come on, Jim. There you go. I think. There you go, Jim. Come on. Get over this way. Or I need to go back this way, maybe. I don't know. I'm going the wrong way here. There we go. -5. There you go. Jim Perry's a -5. Freehand's +2 for a -3. And Oakland, Ken Holtzman is a -1. And Gene Tennis is a 0. So they have a -1 for their factors for today. -1. As I'm trying to get, can I get, there we go. You can almost see it. -1. If I move it just slightly, I think you can see it. Hopefully. There we go. -1 for Ken Holtzman. Okay. So we have Ken Holtzman on the mound. And there you see the lineups and the bullpens and the benches for both teams. Tigers are carrying 1 extra position player. The A's are carrying 1 extra bullpen arm. Just the way that was. So Oakland won this game in real life 4-0, as Detroit made 3 errors in the game in real world. So, You know, one thing there's always something I forget, and I just realized what it was. So let me get straight here. I was trying to get everything done in timely fashion, but obviously there's one piece missing. If you notice that there's no line score there. So let me, and that's how I do my line scores. I print them out just like this. You can see all the upcoming games on the NBC Game of the Week. Next week we're going to be in Montreal, Jerry Park for the Dodgers and the Expos. And the week after that is California and Minnesota. Then the Mets, Chicago, Texas, Milwaukee, and St. Louis, San Diego, and that takes us up to the All-Star game. That means every team would have appeared one time throughout the first part of the season, which is what I like to have done. But I was trying to rush this because Tabby was giving me issues, and I thought I had everything in place except for the line score. So bear with me just a second, and I will cut that out and get that all set up, and then we can get going. Because I know everybody has busy lives and they don't want to sit around here listen to me yak. So, and Tabby's not even on camera, so you can't even watch her give herself a bath. So, okay, let's get these out of the way and get this in place so that we can get going here from Oakland on a Saturday afternoon. Thank you all for spending part of your Saturday with me. Apologize for the brief delay, but here we go. Let's put that in place. So I think that gets us all officially where we need to be now, hopefully. Okay, I think we are now set. Finally, after all this time, we are now finally set. Okay, good to go. So Mickey Stanley, he is in center field in this game. He will lead off against Ken Holtzman. NBC Game of the Week is underway. 3-8 against a lefty. Fly ball to center. Put away out there by Bill North, and that's one away. So one down, and that brings up Tony Taylor, not to be confused with Tony the Tiger. Tony Taylor at second base. 3-9 against a left-hander is a ground ball second base C, handled by Ted Kubiak, and it's 2 up and 2 down for the catcher, Bill Freehand. I thought he usually had a good arm, but in this particular season, he's a +2. Maybe he's near the end of his career, and his arm is getting, he's losing his arm a little bit. I don't know. 6-12 against a right-hander is a ground ball pitcher X. He's a 4.24. Holtzman is a 4.24. Let's check it out. 4.24, 4 and 11 for a pitcher. 4 and an 11. It's a G3. He'll get to it. That's an 11, and he is an E24. There is an 11, unfortunately, for Ken Holtzman on the E24. The 11 is right here for a one-base error. So one-base error, E1, will give the Tigers a 2-out base runner, and I think I messed up the focus by putting the chart there, so I apologize for that. Let me fix that. Hopefully that's better now. Freehand not going to be held, not going to go anywhere. And Willie Horton, the left fielder, who was a 5-rated left fielder in left field, but they got Frank Howard DHing, so they really had no choice but to put him there. But it does allow the first time to check for wild pitches and balks and so forth. But there's nothing on the D20, nothing on the havoc roll. So here's Holtzman to Willie Horton. 6-7 against a right-hander. Ground ball second base X, but he's not being held, so there's no detraction. Kubiak is a 3E23. 3E23, 3 and 11 for a second baseman. 3 and 11 is a G2, and that is a 9, and he is an E23. There's only 11 and 17, no 9, so it's good play for Kubiak. He'll go for the force way to get Freehand at second base, 4-6 if you're scoring at home, and you know you ought to be. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 left. Go to the bottom of the first. Tigers zip. The A's coming to bat here at Oakland, Alameda County Coliseum, or whatever it was called in 1973. Jim Perry. We'll be facing Burt Campaneris, and Campaneris has been told not to throw any bats in this game. Perry, 6-8 against Campaneris. And that's the bad spot for Jim Perry. 1 to 3 is a double. Anything else is a single. That is a 3. So Burt Campaneris just cracks a leadoff double off of Jim Perry. He will have to be held because he runs so well. They will hold him on second base. And here comes Bill North, another speedster. 2 is a chance for a balk or a pass ball. Chance for a balk, but he has a 0 balk rating, so no balks to worry about. All right, Perry, 6-2 against the switch hitting North. Ground ball second base B, and that in a super advanced, that will move the runner. Advanced, they would have stayed. Super advanced, he moves. With the ball hit to the right side, that'll put Campaneris at third base with 1 out for the captain, Sal Bando. And the Tigers early on are going to play the infield in with 1 out, trying to prevent a cheesy ground ball B run or something. So the infield is in. And they're trying to avoid a plus sign or anything on those ground balls. Perry, 1-4. And that's a ballpark single check. 1 to 3, that's a 5. It will be a line out to short for out number 2. So out number 2. And that'll bring up Reggie Hot Dog Jackson and his -5 arm in right field. Perry with 2 outs has to pitch carefully to Jackson. First base is open. They could go ahead and pitch around him and pitch to Darren Johnson, but Perry's going to go after him. 2-10, and Reggie said that's a mistake, but it is a ballpark home run. It's 1 to 10. That's a 20. So Reggie's going to miss out on the home run. It's just a deep fly to right, and Perry escapes. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 left. And Jackson is saying, why are you doing ballpark effects? You just let me hit the home run. But that's super advanced, bud. So nothing doing for Reggie. He deep flies it to right to the track, and and the right fielder Dick Sharon puts it away. Kaline's actually playing first base in this game. With the left-hander on the mound, they've got Norm Cash on the bench, along with several other lefties on the bench. So they're doing a heavy right-handed lineup. But lots of good lefties on the bench. Northrup and Cash among them that could pinch hit. All right, here's first baseman Al Kaline. 6-7, and that's a ground ball second base X. So again, we're back to second baseman Kubiak, 3E23. 3 to 12, we'll get to it. That's a 10, and I believe at E23 had to have an 11 to be an error. It does, so 11 or 17, but that's a 10, so it's a good play for Kubiak as he retires Al Kaline. Here comes the big guy, capital punisher, right at the end of his career, Frank Howard, designated hitter. Holtzman, 3-7 to Howard. 1 to 7's a double. That's an 8, though, so it'll be a fly to right field, and Jackson puts it away for out number 2. That'll bring up Dick Sharon. He is in right field for this game. 1-6, and he is going to strike out. So first strikeout of the game for Ken Holtzman. 3 up and 3 down go the Tigers here in the second. Go to the bottom of the second, no score. Hello, Joel and Chuck, if I missed you guys. Sorry about that. Here is Jim Perry. And he'll be facing the designated hitter, Darren Johnson. How's the volume? Is the volume okay? I hope it is. All right. Here is... Let's move this over. Oh, sorry, Tabby. Bump Tabby in the head there trying to move the computer over. All right, here is Johnson. 5-11 against a right-hander for Perry. Is a ballpark home run chance again, but that's a 12. So it's going to be a deep fly to left field. Sounds good. Thank you. Deep fly to left field, so 1 away, so the ballpark has taken away 2 home runs already. That could have been. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, but was not. Here's the catcher, Gene Tennis. 6-12, and that's a ground ball pitcher X. He's a 3E21 is Perry. 3E21. 3 and a 3, that could be trouble. Check the pitcher result. 3 and a 3 is a single, and that's a 7. Should be okay on the error. E21. Oh, I take it back. Stand corrected. E21 for a pitcher. The 7 is the first number on the list, so it's going to be a single plus an error. S1 with an E1 attached. And that's batter to second. So nobody else on base to worry about, but Gene Tennis will take second. He gets credit for an infield single, and then Perry threw it away, so on the E1, he will move to second. So 2 errors in the game, both on each pitcher. 1 each on each pitcher. Tennis will not be held at second base. And here comes Joe Rudy. Kind of surprised he's that far down the lineup, hitting 7th. If I was Oakland, I'd have had him hitting 5th and put Darren Johnson 7th, but I wasn't the manager back then. Dick Williams was. So Perry checking anything, nothing's happening. Perry 5-10 to Rudy. That's a ballpark single check. That's a 13 though, so it's a liner to short or out number 2. Or as I like to do it when it's when the original play is an out, I usually stick with that out, but it really doesn't matter. Then it wouldn't have made a difference. A liner to short, fly to left doesn't affect anything. So, but for these games, I'll go ahead and do what the book says and just go with the liners to the infield. All right, so 2 down for first baseman Mike Hegan. Perry to Hegan, 112. That's a ballpark home run chance. That's a 10. It is gone. Now, we could try to rob the home run, but I don't know if Oakland, I think you can rob the home runs, but I really haven't been doing that in this replay, so we're not going to start now. So we're going to go ahead and just say it's a home run for Mike Hegan, a 2-run shot for Mike Hegan right on the number. Both runs are earned because the error didn't have any effect with the guy getting on base. So it's a 2-run bomb for Mike Hegan. Number 8 hitter, Mike Hegan, hits a 2-run homer, and the A's lead it 2-0. But we could have tried to rob the home run if we really wanted to. But like I said, I haven't been doing it, so I'm not going to start now. All right, 2-11 for Kubiak against a right-hander is a walk. So 2-out walk to Kubiak. And that'll flip the order over to Bert Campaneris. Kubiak not being held at first base. Campaneris doubled his first time up. Perry, 4-10. Ground ball shortstop A. That's going to end the inning to finally take care of things. But 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 left. At the end of 2, it is Oakland 2 and Detroit nothing. A's won the game in real world 4-0. So we'll see if we get close to that number or not. Hello, Mr. Utah Mike. I don't know if you saw the Mike Hegan homer or not, or whether you came in after that fact, but Mike Hegan got the ballpark home run roll 1-10. And he rolled a 10 and got the home run. So, all right. And Hegan did have normal power against lefties and righties, so there was no issue there. All right, so third baseman Aurelio Rodriguez, number 8 hitter, steps in against Holtzman. 4-10 against a right-hander for Holtzman is a fly ball center field X. Spill north. He's a 2-11. 2 and a 16 is all over it. 11 and 11. Does he commit the error? 11 and 11 for center fielder. Nope, 3, 13, and 18, 16 are errors, but not 11. So Bill North makes the play on Rodriguez, and there's 1 away for steady Eddie Brinkman, number 9 hitter. 1-6. Ground ball to third. Sal Bando has it. 2 down. And Mickey Stanley, the batter. Leadoff hitter. Flew to center his first chance. 2-7 against the lefty. He's going to strike out. So Holtzman rings him up. Another 3-up and 3-down inning for Holtzman. And we go to the bottom of the third. Still 2-0. Favor of the Oakland Athletics. Jim Perry back out. Will face Bill North. Sal Bando and Reggie Jackson. Heart of the order. 6-10. Switch hitter batting left-handed. That's ground ball to Taylor at second. Easy play. And that's twice that North has grounded to second base. One away for Sal Bando. Five, and that's a strikeout. There's a dot there, but he's obviously not tired this early. He can go 6 innings before he's tired, so the strikeout is good. 2 down, and here's Reggie Jackson. He just missed a home run on a ballpark home run chance his first time up. 4-6, and that is a walk. So Reggie coaxes a 2-out walk from Perry. Reggie, a good base runner. Could try to get the lead, but the -3 with being held as a -5, it would drop him to a 12 even if he gets the lead. Still might be a good chance to go, though, to get in scoring position. So they're going to try it. 4 through 6, he can get the lead. 5, he gets the lead, so he will go. He's a 17, being held makes him a 15, and then the -3 pitcher-catcher interaction is a 12. So 1 to 12, and Reggie will steal it. He does. So Reggie Jackson steals second base, gets himself into scoring position. He stole 22 bases on the season. So you think of him being a home run hitter, but he can also steal bases, at least in this part of his career. He could. He will be held on second because he runs so well. They want to try to keep him close so they won't score on a single. And that brings up the DH, Darren Johnson. Perry to Johnson, 3-8, struck him out. Going to end the inning, so the stolen base had no effect. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left. We've completed 3 at the Coliseum. Oakland still leads it 2-0 thanks to the Mike Hegan 2-run homer. It's been the only runs of the game that have done anything. So top of the 4th we go. And now Tabby is taking a nap on her little perch, so hopefully she will stay that way for the remainder of the game. All right, it's getting a little stuffy in here, so I will turn this window AC unit on just to, hopefully the noise is not going to be a problem. Here's Tony Taylor, second baseman. 6-12 against Holtzman is a ground ball pitcher X again. 4-E24, he committed an error last time. 4-16, he'll get to that. The question is the error. So it's a 4-16, which is a G2. That's a 16, and he is an E24 for a pitcher. There is no 16. There's a 10, 11, 12, 15, 17, and 18, but no 16. So this time, Holtzman able to handle a tough chance to get that first out of the inning. Keep the leadoff man from getting on base. Here's Bill Freehand. He reached on the error by Holtzman. 6-7, and that's a ground ball second base X. Boy, a lot of X chances here, and here comes a third time around for Ted Kubiak. 3-E23. 3-16 is good all day long. E23 and a 12 is good because it's the 11 and 17 that are the errors. So Kubiak handles a tough hop. 2 down for Willie Horton. (6-4). Ground ball shortstop backs. Another X chance. This one Campaneris. 2-E26. 2-20 is good all day long. E26 and a 9 for a shortstop. E26. There is no 9. There's a 12, 17, and 18, but no 9. So good play. So 3 X chances, but the Oakland fielders field them all, and there's nothing going on there. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Still 2-0. Favor of the A's. And 72 World Series hero Gene Tennis will lead it off. Tennis singled and scored on the Hegan homer his first time up. Perry 2-6, and that's a walk. So Gene Tennis will reach again. His on-base percentage was .387, so he garnered a lot of walks. 101 walks on the season. 94 strikeouts, but he walked over 100 times. So he is a on-base machine. He will not be held, and here's Joe Rudy. Tutti Frutti Rudy. Perry, 4-6, and that's a ground ball third base B, so it's a fielder's choice. It will erase Tennis and put Rudy on the bases, but Rudy doesn't steal either. He had no steals and no attempts at all in the 73 season, so he obviously will not be held. But here comes Hegan. He hit the 2-run homer his first time up to account for the runs in the game. Hello, Ben. How you doing? Perry to Hegan. 5-8, and boy, Hegan, look at this. 1 to 2 is a triple. Anything else is a single. That's a single 2 stars, and that will put Rudy at third base. Hegan 2 for 2, and as a number 8 hitter, he is 2 for 2. He will not be held either. And here comes Kubiak, the number 9 hitter. Infield is at double play. Well, actually, you know what? Kubiak's got so many B's on his card. I think the chances of him hitting into a double play are not good. So they're going to play in. They're going to play the infield in. Infield is in, because double play chances are not good. Perry, 2-3 to Kubiak. It's a ballpark single, but that's a 16 too high, so it's just a liner to second base for out number 2. So now the... Now I lost my little thing. Hold on. I had to reach for that chart, and it pulled my headset out of the connection to the phone, so hopefully that's back in play now, but I got to be careful about that. So that takes the double play worries out of order, because now there's 2 outs. But top of the order, Bert Campaneris. Campy doubled and grounded to short. 1 for 2. Nothing on the Havoc. Hello, D. Scott. How are you doing? Perry, 6-7. That's a ground ball, second base X. Nobody's being held, so Taylor keeps all his range. He's a 3E10. 3 and a 12. He'll get to it. Check the E10, and that is a total of 15 on an E10. E10, second baseman, and a 15. There's a 16, 17, and 18, but no 15, so Tony Taylor makes a tough play to end the inning and throw Campaneris out at first base. So no runs, a hit, no errors, and they leave 2 on base. And we go to the 5th inning with the score still Oakland 2 and Detroit nothing. Oakland missing a golden opportunity to extend the lead. But Perry pitching out of it. All right, leading it off would be Al Kaline playing first base in this game. He grounded to Kubiak at second his first time up. 5-5, and that's a in-home run chance on a 1-7, but that's a 17, so it's just a deep fly to left. And Rudy at the track will make the catch. 1 down for big old Frank Howard. Designated hitter. Flew to Reggie his first time up. 6-5. He's going to ground it to short. That's Campaneris. He again is a 2E26. 2 and an 18. He'll get to it. E26. E26, and that is a 7 at shortstop. And E26. Nope, 12, 17, and 18 are your errors, not the 7. So it's good play for Campy. A lot of X chances in this game for Oakland. But all except for 1, they've been up to the task. Here's Dick Sharon. 1-6, that's a strikeout to end the inning. So it's another 3 up and 3 down for Holtzman. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. Still 2-0 favor of the Oakland A's. Jim Perry back out, hoping to get some run support, but it's not happening right now. Mike Hegan's 2-run homer, second inning, have been the source of all the runs. Here's Bill North. He's grounded out to second twice, 0 for 2. 4-4, switch hitter. 4-4 is fly ball center field X. That is Mickey Stanley. He's a 1, so you know he's going to get to it. We're just checking for an error. He's an E3, so not likely to boot it. Oh, wrong dice. My bad. He's an E3, and that's a 9. I'm pretty sure that's good to go, but I'll verify it. E3, yep, you got to have a 318 or 16 to have an error there, so easy play there for Stanley. At least it wasn't easy, but he made it look easy, so 1 away. Nice having that 1 range in center field. That makes things nice. Here's Sal Bando. 3-9 for Bando is a walk. Just missed a home run opportunity, but which would have failed anyway. But he does draw a 1-out walk. And that's something the A's did a lot this season. They did a lot of walking. He will not be held. as Reggie Jackson steps to the plate. Speaking of walking, he's flown to right and walked and stole a base. Tigers looking for the double play or strikeout. 5-4, and that's a catcher X. That's Bill Freehand. He's a 2E1. 2E1, 2 and a 5. Let's see what happens on a 2 and a 5. That could be some sort of a wild pitch or something. 2 and a 5 is a P/P. That is a 12, and he is an E1, so that's not a problem. P/P. P/P, there you are. Chance of a pass ball, but we're checking the wild pitch rating of the pitcher. That creates the pass ball. But Perry's only a 1, so probably not going to be a pass ball. And it will not. That 1 almost clicked over, but it didn't. So they do block it. And Reggie's at bat with a 1-0 count. Perry to Reggie. 5-11 this time. That's an in-home run chance, but that's a 17. Second time in a row. Reggie's been thwarted by the ballpark home run factors. Took 2 home runs away from him. So there's 2 down, and Reggie's not happy. And when Reggie ain't happy, nobody happy. All right, Darren Johnson, the DH. 4-4. That is a fly ball center field X. Once again, Stanley's a 1. You know he's going to get to it. We're just checking the error. And again, he is just an E3. So the only way he makes an error, the only way is if we get a 3, 18, or 16. And we do not. We get a 10. So it's good play for Mickey Stanley to end the inning. No runs, no hits, 1 error, no errors, and 1 left on thanks to the walk. We go to 6. It's still 2-0. Remember, the A's won this game real world 4-0. Tigers committed 3 errors in real world in this game as well. Each team with 1 error in the replay game. Holtzman has a fatigue of 8. Perry is 6, so next inning Perry will be on his fatigue inning. But right now Holtzman is still good to go. Oh, Joel, I think I might have missed. You know what? I think I was too quick on that. You were absolutely correct. You caught that for me. Appreciate that. That should have been a foul out. And end up recording it as a fly to center. I guess it really doesn't matter at this point, but I will change it to an F2 just to be accurate. Not that, like I said, it doesn't really change anything because it was the 3rd out and nobody could score on a sac fly or anything, but I do want to be accurate, and I don't want to overlook something, so I do appreciate that, Joel, for bringing it to my attention. All right, so Aurelio Rodriguez will start the top of the 6th. No pinch hitting until we get to the 7th. So we're going to have to let Brinkman hit next. Not going to pinch hit for him this early. Holtzman 5-4, and that's a 1 for a single. Anything else, he will ground it to short, and that's 1 away. So Rodriguez is out of there, and here's light hitting Eddie Brinkman. Hit 237 on the season. Good fielder, but not much of a hitter. 5-11. That's a fly ball right field X. We're looking right at Hot Dog Jackson, and he's a 2E11. 2 and a 9, he'll get to that. Let's check the error chances. 2 and a 9 officially is an F2. That's an 11, and he is an E11. So 11 and 11. Nope, errors are 4, 13, 15, 16, 18, and 3, not 11. So Reggie fights the sun and makes the tough catch for out number 2. Tim, Joel, anybody else, if you see me, skip over something or whatever, please let me know, because I want to be accurate. I want to be correct. I don't want to make a mistake and just overlook something out of the blue that I shouldn't do. All right, here's Mickey Stanley. He is 0 for 2. Holtzman 4-9. That's a single to right field, and if you've been keeping score like you should be, there goes the no-hitter. Holtzman had a no-hitter up to that point. The only base runner was an error by Holtzman himself. So that's the first base hit of the game. Comes with 2 outs in the 6th. Mickey Stanley, no threat to run. He didn't steal any bases and got caught 4 times, so would be rather foolish to try it. There's Tony Taylor. Holtzman to Taylor. 1-8 against a lefty is a ground ball to short, and that's going to end the inning. Campaneris will go the short way to Kubiak for the force to end the inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left. We go to the bottom of the sixth, still 2-0. And we might get to that 4-0 real-life score the way this game is going. It's a possibility. Jim Perry is coming out. This is his fatigue inning, number 6, so keep an eye on that. And he'll be facing Gene Tennis. Tennis has reached base twice. He's singled and walked. 5-6. This time he won't. He grounds it to Rodriguez at third for the first out of the inning. And that will send up Joe Rudy. Tutti Frutti O Rudy. 4-8, and that's a single to left field by Joe. I'm sorry, single to left field by Joe Rudy. Of course, he's not going to go anywhere because he didn't have any attempts. So he's going to stay put. He will not be held on. And Mike Hegan, the batter. His 2-run homer once again in the second inning counts for all the runs. 1-4, and that's a strikeout. So Hegan is out of there on strikes, and that brings up Kubiak. So Kubiak is your batter. Nothing on the habit. Perry, 5-7, switch hitter Kubiak. Fly to center. The dot's there, but he's not tired yet, so the fly to center is good. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left. We played 6 at the Coliseum. Score remains 2-0. Favor of the Oakland A's. And now Tabby has sat up and is rubbing against the computer and everything else over here, so hopefully there won't be any sort of delay. What I do want to do maybe is try to lower this down a little bit. I think I can still capture a lot of the things here, but get better, maybe closer to the cards so you can see them better. But I may need to alter. Actually, that looks pretty good. Let me just tilt it this way a little bit. I think that will help. Hopefully that will make things where you can see it a little bit better, maybe to see the cards better. I know Strat cards are sometimes hard to see. The print's pretty small, so it may not come through on the video very clearly, but we're going to try. All right, so Bill Freehand will lead off the top of the 7th, and now substitutions are fair game for both teams. Pinch hitters galore can do everything. So we're going to go with this to try to condense it a little bit better. You don't need to see any of the peripherals anyway. Mainly what you need to see is right here on the in the camera. At least I'm thinking that. So. All right, so we're ready to go. Bill Freehand against Holtzman. 2-9, that's a pop out to short. Campaneris puts it away, 1 away for Willie Horton. Horton can find that column 2. He can do some damage. Nope, it's off of Holtzman, 5-6. And that's still going to be damage. 1-6 is a triple. That's a 5. Willie Horton. He had 3 triples on the season. He gets one right here. He triples with 1 out. And that brings up Al Kaline. Now, the infield's going to play back because they lead by 2. So they'll still have the lead if they give up the 1 run, but they want to limit it to 1 run, not have a crooked number against them. So they are going to play back. Holtzman to Kaline. 3-9, and that's a single to left field, so it didn't matter where they played him. That's an RBI single for Kaline. And the 3rd time through the order, Holtzman's starting to get hit. So it is a RBI single to cut the lead to 2-1. Kaline not going to be held. And Frank Howard, the batter. Oakland bullpen now starting to loosen here in the top of the 7th, as they do have Horacio Pena, a right-hander, loosening in their bullpen. It's not quite Raleigh Fingers time yet, so they do have Horacio Pena. Horacio Pena, 6-3 with a 2.76 ERA and 8 saves. That's who is loosening for the Oakland A's, Horacio Pena. So he's loosening in the bullpen. But believe me, Raleigh Fingers isn't too far behind. But right now it's Horacio Pena. So Kaline not being held with Frank Howard. Nothing going on with that. 2 10 against a left-hander. That's a 1-14 home run, but that's an 18. It's still going to be a double to center field. Now, with one out, the question is, do you try to send Al Kaline? The double is assumed to go to center field. Actually, yeah, because it doesn't say where it went, but it's assumed to go to center field. Bill North is a -2 arm, though. Kaline's a 12, not being held as a 13, but a -2 is an 11. So with one out, they're going to hold Kaline at third base. So second and third with only one out. Dick Sharon is your batter, but they could get a pinch hitter for Sharon. We shall see. They might consider a pinch hitter. I don't know who they have on the bench that's right-handed that's any good. Or better than Sharon, I should say. Let's see. We got Ike Brown. He's a 289 hitter. He's possible. You do give up good defense for Sharon, though, if you bring in a pinch hitter. But they could bring in Northrop for defense, or they could just bring up Northrop to pinch hit, period. He's a 307 hitter, but it is lefty versus lefty. So they're going to play the percentages. Actually, Dick Sharon has a pretty good card against lefties. We're going to leave him in there. He has a pretty good card there against lefties. I'm gonna leave him in. We're going to let him hit. Infield is in for the A's as they're trying to choke that tying run off. Holtzman with Pena loosening the bullpen fervently. 1-8 for Sharon. He strikes out. That's 2 outs. A big strikeout there. 2 down. And for all the pundits out there that are, it would have been a sac fly had I used Ike Brown. He would have had a sac fly, and the game would have been tied. So, what are you going to do? I'm thinking the long game for the defense too, because you want to keep somebody decent in right field. So, you win some, you lose some, as they say. Now the infield can go back to normal. Tabby's like, why'd you make that? Why didn't you make a move? But oh well. What are you going to do? All right, so Rodriguez is up. He can still do damage. Now, do they pitch to Rodriguez? First base is open with poor Eddie Brinkman on deck, but Rodriguez is only a 222 hitter, so you don't want to walk Rodriguez and have Ike Brown coming in pinch hit. So they're going to have to pitch to Rodriguez and try to get out of it. 3-10, and well, it's a ballpark single check, but that's a 15. So, boy, the 3-9 would have been a clutch base hit, 2-run single, but not to be. It is going to be a line out to second to end the inning, and the score is now 2-1. So they just miss out on being able to tie the game. For the Tigers, they get 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, and they left 2 on base. So Tabby now is really getting frisky over here, so I may let her get it out of her system so we can continue the game while I stretch for the 7th inning, because it is a 7th inning stretch in a 2-1 ball game. Can't forget that. So Tabby, all right, come on. All right, you're going to do it anyway, whether I want you to or not. So you may as well get out of your system. So get it out of your system. Get it out of your system while you can. All right, all right. All right, people don't want to see your tail, so let's move out of the way now. Come on. No, you're not sitting here. No, you can sit on you sit over here. She's still very much upset about Gracie not being here anymore, as I am, obviously, but Tabby's really affected by that because that they were buddies. So it just happens that way. That's life. So Tabby says that's just how it is. Oh, hush. All right, so I'm waiting for Tabby to get settled in so we can get going here in the bottom of the 7th. Jim Perry has only given up 1 single against this point of weakness, so he's still good to go. He's pitching a great game so far. Just made 1 bad pitch. But Fred Sherman, a lefty, is loosening in the pen in case he is needed. Fred Sherman. Due up for the A's It will be the top of the order, Campaneris, North, and Bando. But of course, we do have the 7th inning stretch. Okay, hopefully the volume's better now. It happened again when I was messing with Tabby. I pulled on my cord for my headset and it pulled it out of the plug for the phone. So you were picking up an echo probably in the phone audio. Hopefully that's better now. Okay, so I got to be careful when I turn my head, or either just take the headset off, one or the other. All right, Tabby, you sit there. We got 2 more innings to go at least, and we got to finish this game. Don't want to hold everybody up. Okay, Campaneris will lead it off. He is 1 for 3 with a double against Mr. Perry. 4-7. That's a 1-4 single, but that's 16, so he lines it to Rodriguez at third base. And that's how the bottom of the 7th begins. Bill North and Holtzman will come back and start the top of the 7th. So they're going to let him pitch and see how he does, but Pena is going to be waiting in the wings. North, 1-7, and all these hits in column 1, he found a ground ball to short. Go figure on that one. 2 down. Hello, Mr. ID. How are you doing? We did stretch. Tabby got in the way, did a little bit of a stretch to get us going. To get, she kind of had to have her moment of fame, and then played a little music, and now we're ready to go. 2-1 A's here in the bottom of the 7th. 2-run homer from Mike Hegan in the 2nd with the Oakland score. And Detroit got a 1-out triple from Willie Horton and an RBI single from Al Kaline for their run. But the Tigers did leave runners at 2nd and 3rd with 1 out in the top of the 7th, so that might come back to bite them. So 2 outs, base is empty. And here's Perry to Bando, 3-5. That's a 1-6 home run, but that's a 17, so it will be a double for Sal Bando. So the captain, Sal Bando, hits a 2-out double. It brings up Reggie Jackson, but they are not going to pitch to Reggie Jackson. They will put him on base, but it's 1973, so they do have to throw the 4 pitches out of the zone to complete the intentional walk. But they do so, and now Darren Johnson is on. Perry almost at the point of fatigue. Gene Tennis is on deck along with Joe Rudy, so they got a right-hander joining. They got Timmerman and Sherman both in the bullpen, loosening, righty and a lefty. But the intentional walk to Jackson is complete, and now they're going to pitch to Darren Johnson. Perry, 1-6 to Johnson, struck him out right there to end the inning. So the strategy to walk Reggie Jackson paid off in spades. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 2 left. We go to the 8th. It is a 2-1 ball game. A's won this game in real life 4-0. But this game a little bit closer, 2-1. Nip and tuck. And Holtzman, this is his fatigue inning, number 8. So we keep an eye on him. Ed Brinkman is your scheduled hitter, but of course he will not bat. He will be called back because they need offense, and they're going with Ike Brown, a right-hander. Ike Brown, the right-hander. Now, who's going to play shortstop is the question. And it looks like they're going to have to move somebody to play short. Actually, no, the only guy they have left on the bench to play short is Dick McAuliffe. He's not very good. He's a 4.48, but they got to have offense. So they're going to sacrifice some defense to get some offense. That's them the breaks. So Ike Brown is your pinch hitter for Brinkman, and McAuliffe will be the new shortstop for the Tigers going forward. Not very good, like I said, but they got to have offense. Pena in the bullpen for Oakland, still loosening. In case Holtzman gets into trouble. Here's the pinch hitter, Ike Brown. 6-8 against a right-hander. It's a ground ball to first, and Hegan will take it to the bag himself. One away, so Brown fails in the pinch. And now McAuliffe and his awful defense is going to be the new shortstop. McAuliffe is a 4.48. So obviously they lose quite a bit. Brinkman was a 225. So you pretty much double everything. But they were going for the offense. And when you're down 2-1 in the 8th inning, you kind of have to. All right, top of the order, here's Mickey Stanley. He broke up the no-hitter in the 6th with a single. Holtzman now, 2-11 to Stanley. That's a ground ball first base C. This time Hegan fields it and will flip to Holtzman covering 3-1 on the ground out. It's going to bring up Tony Taylor, but he has to hit because they have nobody else to play second base if he doesn't. So they're out of luck. They're going to have to have him hit. 6-6, and it works out well. He's a right-handed hitter. 6-6 is right in that spot. That's a 17. It will be a 2-out single for Tony Taylor. He is now the tying run, and he's a good base runner. He might try to get the lead, see what he can do about getting a lead. It's a 2 through 8 to get the lead, so he's going to try it. He does, so he will get the lead. He's a 15. Being held makes him a 13. Pitcher-catcher interface is a -1, so it's a 12. 1-12. Since he got the lead, he has to go. 1-12. And they throw him out. Gene Tennis throws him out. So he tried to get in the scoring position with 2 outs, but Gene Tennis had other ideas. Caught stealing as Kubiak puts on the tag. So for the Tigers, a hit, no runs, a hit, no errors, and nobody left thanks to the caught stealing. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Still 2-1 Oakland, and now Pena has sat down and Raleigh Fingers has picked up his glove and is loosening in the bullpen for Oakland. Now for the Tigers, they may be going to their bullpen right now. Let's see who they might want to turn to. There's not a whole lot really good in the bullpen except for their closer Hiller, but you're not going to use him when you're down when you're behind. The A's have Tennis, Rudy, and Hegan, 2 righties and a lefty. So they're going with Tom Timmerman, a right-hander, came over from Cleveland, and he will be the pitcher. So Timmerman, but they do have the left-hander waiting in the wings. That being Sherman, just in case we get down to the left-handed hitters. But they're going to give Timmerman a chance against the righties for now. So Timmerman is on. Close the book on Perry. He pitched very well. 7 innings pitched, just the 2 runs, and the big blow was a 2-run homer off the bat of Hegan. Let's see, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits to go with those 2 runs. So 7 innings pitched, 6 hits, 2 runs. They were earned. Let's see, he walked 1, 2, 3, 4. He walked 4. Of course, Oakland does walk a lot. And he struck out 1, 2, 3, struck out 4. So total line on Perry, 7 innings pitched, 6 hits, 2 runs, all earned, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. Unfortunately, he is on the hook for the loss unless the Tigers rally in the 9th against Raleigh Fingers. So bottom of the 8th, the A's looking for some insurance. It'll be Tennis, Rudy, and Hegan. Due up. So here we go. Timmerman, 1-5 to Tennis, and that's a walk. So a leadoff walk to Gene Tennis. And again, the A's and their propensity to walk is really shining through here. Do they bring in, they may bring in a pinch runner and a better defensive catcher in Ray Fosse. That's what they're going to do. Ray Fosse is going to come in and catch. We're going to have a pinch runner for Gene Tennis. And the pinch runner is going to be They don't really have anybody that's wonderful at a pinch runner. In fact, all their pinch runners are terrible. Let's see, 12 is the fastest they've got. So it looks like they're going to use, or do they stick with who they have? Let's see, Tennis runs in 11. Fossey, well, they're going to bring in Fossey to pinch run. He's in 11. The fastest guy they have on the bench is a 12, so you're not losing much. And nobody can steal, so why waste a player otherwise? So Tennis will leave, and Fossey takes over behind the plate for the 9th inning. Helps their defense, obviously. It's also going to change their, right at the moment, it would change it to a -4 if Holtzman stays in the game, because -3 arm from Fossey. So he's at first. He's not being held. And Joe Rudi is your batter. Joe Rudi. And Timmerman, strategy roll, nothing. Timmerman to Rudi, infield looking for the double play. 5-10 against Timmerman. Ground ball shortstop X. Boy, 5-9 would have been a straight up double play, but this is a shortstop X. And the shortstop is Dick McAuliffe. I tell you, bring a new fielder in, the ball will find you. He's terrible. He's a 4.48. This could kill him right here. 4 and a 7. That's going to be a base hit. That's one that Brinkman would have gotten. Brinkman was a 2. And a 2 and a 7 would have been a G2, but a 4 and a 7. Well, it's a G3 pound, but nobody's being held. So he'll get to it at least. That's a 6, and he's an E48. But a 6 is a 1 base error. So he got to it, but he commits the error. And now a G3 with an error just says 1 base advance. So Rudi will reach on the error. E6 by the new shortstop. That's the second error of the game on the Tigers. They had 3 in real life in this game. So runners at first and second, nobody out. Can't really blame Timmerman, though. That was a tailor-made double play ball, and they blew it. But they got to play the percentages as well, so they are going to the bullpen. That's going to be it for Timmerman. He faces 2 batters, doesn't get anybody out. He's going to leave, and Fred Sherman, a left-hander, is coming on. 2-2 with a 4.26 ERA and a save. So lefty Fred Sherman is on to pitch for Detroit to try to keep the score at 2-1 and not let it get any worse with Mike Hegan, your batter. Hegan only faced 29% of left-handed pitchers, but he's a good defensive first baseman. You got the lead, you keep your defense. So no pinch hitting here. All right, so Sherman, strategy roll, infield, nobody being held, and infield double play depth. 6-5 against the lefty, struck him out. So he strikes out Hegan for a big out, 1 away. And that's going to bring up Kubiak. And, of course, when you got the lead, you keep all your good defensive players in. So they're going to keep Kubiak in, even though he doesn't do much against lefties. You're not going to pull him. So you can keep him in there for defensive purposes. Sherman now. 3-10, and that is a ground ball third base B, so it's a fielder's choice. They go to second for the second out, 5-4 to retire Rudi. Going to third is Fossey, and Kubiak reaches on the fielder's choice. So now 2 outs, and Kubiak will not be held either. So 2 outs, and Bert Campaneris is your batter. He actually hits a little bit better against righties, it looks like, so, or about the same, actually. Both column 3s are pretty good. So Sherman needs to avoid the column 3 on the card of Campaneris to avoid an insurance run. 1-9, that should do it. It's ground ball to second. That's going to end the inning. So Sherman pitches out of the mess that was created by Timmerman and the defense. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and they left 2 on base. So the left on bases certainly are catching up with the A's as well as the Tigers. And the error does not come to any fruition. So we go to the 9th, last chance for Detroit. It's 2-1 ball game. Ken Holtzman will not come back out, obviously. as they are going to Mr. Raleigh Fingers. Fingers 7-8, 1.93 ERA, and 22 saves in 1973. So Raleigh Fingers looking to close the deal. And he will be facing the heart of the order, Freehand, Horton, and K-Line. They still have Cash and Northrop on the bench, a couple of good left-handed hitters if they choose to go that way. And they're going to pinch hit for Freehand. He's not the best hitter in the world, so they will go to the first left-hander off the bench. And it's going to be Jim Northrop, a 307 hitter. He will pinch hit for Freehand. So first bit of business, and if they do go to the bottom ninth, we're going to have a lot of defensive shuffling to do. So Northrop is going to be your pinch hitter to start the ninth. Jim Northrop. Still leaves Cash and Gates Brown on the bench as a couple of good lefties. Don't know about Reese and Sims. Let's see. Rich Reese is 144. Duke Sims 245. So Duke Sims will come in to catch if it goes to the bottom of the ninth. Duke Sims will come in to catch. But right now, Tigers looking for a run. Fingers to Northrop. 2-7 for Northrop as a leadoff walk. Well, those leadoff walks can come back to get you. Northrop leads off with a walk. And I forgot to do the totals on Holtzman. He went 8 innings, gave up 5 hits, and the 1 run, which was earned. 3 of those 5 hits came in the 7th inning. Let's see. Walks and strikeouts. Holtzman did not walk anyone. Strikeouts 1, not that many. 1, 2, 3. I got him for 4 strikeouts. So for Holtzman, 8 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 run. It was earned. No walks, 4 strikeouts. He is in line to get the win if Fingers can hold the fort. All right, Northrop will not be held on. He's not a very good base runner, so they will not hold him on. Willie Horton is a scheduled hitter. It's a 316 hitter. You're not going to take him out of the lineup. So he is on. They will not hold Northrop. Fingers, nothing on the Havoc. Infield looking for the double play. 5-11, and that is a fly ball to left field. Joe Rudy will take it in, 1 away. And that will bring up Al Kaline. You're not going to pinch hit for him. Or Frank Howard. Now, Dick Sharon, they might pinch hit for him with Cash if they get that far. Right now, Kaline is the man. Nothing happening there. Fingers 5-7, and that's a strikeout. Out number 2. 2 down. All right, Chuck, you are the Tiger fan in the chat. So, do we pinch hit Frank Howard, who's a 256 hitter and 12 home runs, with Norm Cash, who's 262 and 19 home runs? I was thinking, or do we save him in case they get to Dick Sharon and pinch hit for 242 hitter Dick Sharon? But if Howard makes an out, you won't even get to Dick Sharon. So, what say you on this Tiger managing decision so you know it's not rigged? Do you want Cash or do you want Howard? I'm good either way. I can argue for both sides of the house. Ben, all right, we're going to pinch hit with Cash. That's what we will do. He will take over as the DH. Now, actually, yeah, because they're going to lose the DH if they put him at first base. Now, let's check the runner, Northrop, and make sure he's a decent runner. Let's see what he runs at. His speed's a 14. I don't think anybody's higher than that on the bench. Yeah, 14 is as good as it gets, so you're not going to pinch run for him. So Northrop will stay at first base, and Norm Cash will take over as the DH, pinch hitting for Frank Howard. Probably didn't happen much in Frank Howard's career, but it's happening right here in Oakland. 2-1 ball game, 2 outs, top of the ninth. Tying runners at first base. Norm Cash pinch hitting for Howard. So let's put that on the sheet here. This is Norm Cash, who's now the DH. So here we go. Fingers, 1-8. And all these hits in column 1, and he found a ground ball to first. Wow. Ground ball to first. Frank Howard would have grounded to the pitcher in case you were curious, so it doesn't matter. Either way you go. It's a ground ball to Hegan. He makes the play, and the ball game is over. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left. A's win it and squeak by 2-1 on the score. 2-1 is your final. 2 errors for the Tigers, 1 for Oakland. The hits, the hits were 5 for Detroit. And the hits were 6 for Oakland. Now let's look at left on base. 1, 2, 4, 5 left on for Detroit. For Oakland, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9, 11 left on for Oakland. So it could have been a lot worse, but Oakland left on 11 base runners. Hello, Salvador. Sorry you came in so late. But yeah, they got Norm Cash out, and Raleigh Fingers gets the big boy save. 2-1 ball game. A's win it. A's win it 2-1. And in case anybody came in late, or actually anybody came in after about the first 2 minutes, this is the upcoming schedule for the NBC game of the week up through the All-Star break. We're going to have next week, we're going to be at Park Jerry for the Expos and the Dodgers. Week after that, we'll get a first look at the Angels as they travel to Minnesota. Week after that, the Mets play the Cubs in Wrigley. Then we get a first look at both Texas and Milwaukee from County Stadium. Then we go to Jack Murphy Stadium, get our first look at the Cardinals and the Padres, and then the All-Star break would be upon us. So that's the upcoming schedule. And again, I try to make it National League, American League, National League, American League. Once we get past the All-Star break, I'll look at the standings and pick whatever game makes the most sense for standings purposes. Right now, the first half, I just want to get every team in there at least once. So Raleigh Fingers gets the save. Holtzman gets the win, and Jim Perry gets the tough luck loss. He definitely deserved a better fate, but his team just couldn't get it going. Tigers probably lost the game in the 7th when they had runners in second and third and 1 out and could not score them. Dick Sharon struck out, and Rodriguez lined to second, and that was the end of that. So, unfortunately, if you're a Tiger fan, they fall short in this ball game by the score of 2-1. And upcoming in the 1967 pennant race chase, we will be in Chicago, Comiskey Park, my bad, because it's American League. It'll be the California Angels and the Chicago White Sox. And I'll have updated standings and everything for that as we are playing the games from September the 6th. So, hope you all enjoyed that. Thank you, Ben. I appreciate that. I try to get as many. I don't have the best. I use my smartphone as my camera, so I don't have the best equipment. So I try to get as many accoutrements in here as possible just to try to help things out, like the ballpark picture, the lineup boards, and all that stuff. It's the best I can do. So, and like I said, it's I don't have the expensive camera, so I'm doing it on the cheap, as they say. So hopefully tomorrow I will be putting up a video of the 1967 inside pitch pennant chase between the California Angels and the Chicago White Sox from Comiskey Park. And then I'll have the updated standings as well to see how that goes. Again, next week we'll be north of the border, Park Jerry, as the Dodgers take on the Expos from Montreal. And if I give a quick look at let me give a quick look and see who the pitching matchup is. Thought I had it memorized, but obviously I don't. So let's see here. It is... Well, I don't have it in front of me. I thought I had it in front of me, but I do not. Apologize for that. Thought I had it with me, but I do not. But we will be in Montreal either way you go. So, might be able to look it up here real quick. retro sheet and figure it out. So let's see here. Let's see what we got for 1973. Let's see who we have here. 1973, and the game would be played on June the 16th. June the 16th. Look at the log here for June 16th. It will be, looks to be, a battle of Claude Osteen for the Dodgers and Bill Stoneman for the Expos. That would be your starting pitcher confrontation next week. So again, I do appreciate you all spending part of your Saturday with me. A's win it 2-1 in a close one. And since the game is over and I don't have to worry about anything else, we'll let Tabby have her little thing here and make her little noises or whatever she wants to do. Nobody wants to see your backside though, Tabby. So, oh, you're just making noise here, aren't you? You're just making all kinds of noise. There you go. People want to see your face, Tabby. They don't want to see your butt. Maybe I can do this. We'll see. There you go. There's Tabby. Now she don't want. Now she was going to do it before. Now she doesn't seem to want to do it anymore. So I don't know. I guess she's figuring that's the best I can. I'll do this. How about that? So there you go. Tabby, at least look up. At least look up this way. Tabby. At least look this way. Nope. Not interested in. Not when I don't want her up here. She wants to get up here. When I do want her up here, you see what happens. So, yep, you're right, RJL. She is quite the diva. All right, that's good over here. Again, final score, Oakland 2, Detroit 1. Till next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.